So we have a serious matter on ground today. We all had President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's direct order: withdraw police officers from VIPs and send them to fight actual crime. Simple, right? Well, apparently not. First PRO Benjamin Hundeyin sat down with Seun OKINBALOYE on Channels Television, and let me tell you, it was intense. Seun asked the hard questions. Why do we still have officers carrying handbags for politicians when bandits are kidnapping Nigerians? The numbers aren't adding up. And the excuses, well, you be the judge. Sit back and take a watch.
Now, we begin tonight with us touching base to find out whether or not some of the decisions and the policies that are and directive and orders made by President Bola Tinubu in the last few weeks based on the security situation in the country, whether or not they are being obeyed. There are those who have come on social media to accuse the police force of not complying with President Bola Tinubu's order. Just days ago, the president had ordered the withdrawal of VIP protection being done by members or officers of the Nigerian police force and to be redrafted into normal policing duties, and has asked that anyone who wants VIP protection should seek the services of the NSCDC. There are those who are accusing the police force of not totally complying with it. We saw earlier, a few days ago, when the IG said about over 11,000 police officers have now been withdrawn from the VIP protection service. There are those Nigerians who say that figure is not exactly correct, considering the number of, in the records, the number of Nigerians who are serving, Nigerian police officers who are serving as protection for VIP in the country. I'm being joined by the Force Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police, Mr. Benjamin Hundeyin, who is live for us here in our studio. Thanks so much, Mr. Hundeyin, for joining us tonight.
Good evening, and thanks for having me tonight.
Thank you. Why is it difficult for the Egbetokun-led police force to comply with President Tinubu's order? Withdraw all VIP protection. 11,000 only out of about 800,000 on record that are serving in that unit.
Well, I don't know the record you are making reference to. We have the record, and we are confirming to you that approximately 11,566 officers are attached to VIPs for VIP protection, and the IGP has ordered their immediate recall, and that is being done as we speak. The intention is to retrain them, because they are actually experts in VIP protection, retrain them and redraft them into police divisions, then our schools protection squad. We need to strengthen that squad, and also to join the military in their theater for some military duties, because the Constitution actually empowers the police to also carry on military duties. So I can confirm that the figure is 11,566, not what you are saying, and I can also confirm that they have been recalled.
I saw your social media post where you were referencing one of this hotelier and this what do you call his name, Cubana Chief Priest, where there are pictures that surfaced online that some of these elements who have police protection are still going around with such.
Yes, you see, the IGP, upon receiving that directive, that presidential directive, summoned a meeting with all commissioners of police. That happened last week on Thursday, where he gave them marching orders to ensure the strict enforcement of that directive. During that meeting with the commissioners of police, he addressed the press, and he called on Nigerians to stay away from fake news, because, to be honest, we have been at the receiving end of fake news, of misinformation. So he actually called on Nigerians to please, like he knew it would happen, he called on Nigerians to please stay away from fake news. And since that time, we have seen lots and lots of old videos, old pictures surfacing online and being referenced as current realities. So just like you said, you saw on my X page, I actually had to address that to make it known that that was an old picture. In reality, as we speak, all SPU commanders, PMF commanders have been given that marching order, and they've been complying. In fact, I know some VIPs that have reached out to me that have reached out to the IGP to say, oh, they've withdrawn my men. And yes, that is the presidential directive. So that's it. Old pictures, old videos are being recycled. And that we condemn. We urge Nigerians to stay away from that.
But people are already paying for the retainer of their own protection, because some people are now used to having those protection. It's almost impossible for them to live their lives now without those protection. And we are hearing that it's now to the highest bidder.
For police officers?
Yes, to be retained.
No. See, it's the directive is absolute, and the enforcement too is absolute. It's not about highest bidder. It's not about asking for more money. The instruction is withdraw men from VIP protection, and that we have done.
So there are accusations that it is also selective. Now you're retaining you're withdrawing for civilians and private citizens, but some government officials still have their protection with them. But these are still classified as VIP protection. The VIP protection, by the way, we understand they are under the SPU. That's the Special Protection Unit, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
So, and there are those Nigerians who will be asking the question, how many men do you have in the SPU? How many officers are there before these order? How many of them have rejoined? If you can give us those statistics and clarity.
Okay, you said that the officers attached to government officials, that government officials are also classified as VIP. Whose classification? So that brings me to answering your question. Yes, we have withdrawn men from VIPs, but I want you to know that there are certain government functionaries, government officials that are statutorily entitled to police protection.
Who are these people?
I will not go into a list or details. You're free to get this information. It's open source information. The FOI Act is there. You can take advantage of it. But for example, the governors are entitled. For example, judges are entitled to police protection.
And ministers entitled.
I will not go into a list. I've just given you 2 examples. So what we have decided to do is that pending further directives from the presidency, clearer further directives, those who are statutorily entitled to police protection would still have their police protection. But for now, every other person that is not a government functionary, that the law does not say is entitled, the men have been withdrawn.
So these are the reasons why, is because of perhaps half information, lack of information, and clarity of some of these issues is what is making some Nigerians to feel that maybe the police force is not really serious about obeying what the number one citizen is saying, which is the president. Now, there are, in all of the 36 states of the Federation, there are members of the House of Assembly, which people will say, some of them have their wives, their children, themselves, they are being protected. Commissioners in these states, they are being protected. Special advisors, they are being protected. In the 36 states of the Federation, you see, one of the things that actually get to a lot of Nigerians is you see police officers serving in some ridiculous capacity, holding handbags, opening doors, and doing all manner of stuff for Nigerians. And these are the people that are supposed to help in the theater of wars, where Nigerians is combating real issues. And they are being subjected into all kind of ridiculous opening gates. The police have been turned into gatesmen in some rich men and in some big people's houses. And these are some of the issues that are being raised. Are National Assembly members, are they entitled? Are the commissioners, are special advisors, senior special assistants, these are commissioners, House of Assembly members? Who are these? Because Nigerians keep saying that. And if you want Nigerians to start doing that, I will advise that from tomorrow, Nigerians, wherever you are, whoever you see that is carrying police escort, can you take pictures and tag the Nigerian police force? Let's know whether they are serious about the implementation and the adherence to the president's order. Nigerians need this clarity because people are being killed.
Thank you very much. You see, I support your call for people to take pictures and tag us, let us see. But I will assure you that it's almost impossible that they'll get any pictures, except they are mistaking government officials that are statutorily entitled for VIPs, except for that. You see, the IGP ordered the AIG SPU to go to the Abuja airport and station his men there and arrest any police officer found escorting VIPs. He gave the same order to the CP, Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, to go to the Lagos airport and arrest any police officer escorting VIPs. That's how seriously we take this. Now, to what you said earlier about, police officers doing demeaning jobs in rich people's homes. Yes, the IGP too was concerned about this, very concerned, such that 2 weeks ago, before the presidential directive, he ordered that the policemen attached to all VIPs be withdrawn. And these VIPs should come forward to apply afresh so that we could reassess and revalidate. This was 2 weeks ago. And coincidentally, the president gave this directive. It just reinforces the IGP stand. And the directive now even overrules anything like reassessment or revalidation. Now it is blanket. If you're a VIP, you are not entitled to police protection. So I'm just saying that we agree with you, we are concerned, and we're proactive such that the IGP took this step. So the enforcement is on. The IGP gave the order, the directive, that any police officer found escorting VIPs be arrested, because definitely he's on illegal duty. Every one of them has been recalled.
You're not able to tell us, you are, because we do know that the number of police officers within the force today is less than 500,000. And we do know that out of it, about 8 major departments in the Nigerian police force, the operations has maybe the largest pool of officers. And there are those who believe that the SPU alone has almost 100,000 or so officers.
Those who believe.
No, I mean, those are the reports that we have. But if you have a counter data, can you tell Nigerians?
Well, I wouldn't go into details. Those are operational details. I'll just restate what I said earlier, that this presidential directive is being complied with, is being enforced to the letter, and all police officers attached to VIPs have been withdrawn. 11,566 have been recalled. They are going to be retrained so that they can be posted to police divisions to bolster the number there. And they are also going to be attached to the Special School Protection Squad, SPS, so that we can give our schools more security. And they will also be sent to military theaters to also support the military in the fight against terrorism and banditry. So going into details of figures, we wouldn't want to do that. They are for operational reasons.
When the European Union gave that report to say more than 100,000 officers of the Nigerian police force are deployed to protect politicians and other very important persons, and the report also said that there are an estimated 371,800 officers serving a population of 236 million people. And this report was as early as a few months ago. The police force did not counter that. So why is it now that the police force is saying, no, that figure is not correct, it's only 11,000?
Well, what they are talking about might actually be different from what we are talking about. You need to put that.
I just read it out to you.
Yes.
The European Union's report says that there are about 100,000 police officers deployed to protect politicians and other very important personalities.
Politicians and other very important persons.
Is it all politicians that is entitled?
And other
is it all that politicians?
So you see what I'm saying? That what the scope they are looking at is different from the scope we are talking about. So we have said, and we'll say it again, 11,566 officers attached to VIPs have been withdrawn.
What about the ones that are attached to banks, to people's houses for protection, because police generate revenue from this?
I also said,
Mr. Hundeyin, police generate revenue from this special protection.
I also said that government officials that are statutorily entitled to police officers would retain their police protection till we get further, clearer directives from the presidency.
So I asked you when I saw that story, I mean, of course, it was on the phone, but you said that was not correct, because there was a list that was going on that FCT Minister Nyesom Wike
that was a fake list, very fake.
That you retrieved their police protection.
Yes, that was very fake. That list did not come from us.
So you did not withdraw from any politician?
Those that are statutorily entitled.
All right. Give us an understanding of the standby police force unit. which are the elite squad that under the IGP Egbetokun set up, were properly trained, and we saw when they graduated from that training, because it was part of the community effort in policing, and he had also said that he wanted to reduce the time of response to crime and criminalities. Is that unit still active?
Oh, we have that unit very active, but we don't talk about it much. They are very active. I'll give you an example. The students, no, not students this time around, the choir incident, the church, the people that were kidnapped from the church, when they were rescued, that unit played a very vital role in that kidnap. Yes, it was supervised by Office of the National Security Advisor. Yes, I don't think many people know this because we try not to speak about it, and we try to protect them. But they are very active and they are doing lots and lots of work. They are also in other parts of the country. I would also not like to talk about it, but that's just an example. They are very instrumental to that rescue in.
There are those who say that there is just only one unit, and that the response time, because we are encumbered in most parts of the country, they are also overwhelmed. Maybe that we need more of these elite squad spread across the different regions of the country.
Well, I wouldn't say how many units we have. I wouldn't also tell you about how fast they can relocate from one part of the country to the other. But we all know that less than 400,000 police officers for a population of over 200 is not adequate. We all know that. So units or no units, the entire police force is not adequate. And we are very grateful to the government for acknowledging this and approving the recruitment of 50,000 police officers, and to also continue with yearly recruitment. That would, I mean, increase the figure, and gradually we'll get to the right benchmark.
Has IGP Egbetokun, has he done anything different since all of these things spiraled?
When you say these things, what are these things?
The security situation. Or maybe you live in a different Nigeria. Those of us who see some of these things.
No, we need to be specific here.
The Kebbi incident, the Kwara incident, there are different Kwara incidents anyways. The church kidnapping in Niger, a lot of these things. What is different that the Nigerian police force has done in the last few years?
Yes, while we like to update Nigerians on the things we do, we are also very circumspect about releasing information too early, especially when an operation is going on, so that we don't jeopardize that operation. But I know that the IG has done a lot differently. You would agree with me, I'm sure you saw it, that the IG personally went to Kebbi State in the wake of that kidnapping incident. And that same day, as he left KB, because I was part of that journey, we also went to Niger State, where we met with governors in both states. And we've also had series of meetings with tactical commanders to ensure, in fact, I'll tell you for a fact, that there are some kidnapping incidents, or they did not become kidnapping incidents, but that would have become incidents that were thwarted, that were, forestalled, preempted, because of the proactive stance of the IGP. So I can assure that he's doing a lot differently. And permit me to say, that's why it's bad enough. I'm not trying to downplay what's happening. It's bad, yeah, but that's not even, that's why it's not even worse than it is, because for every incident you've heard about, there are many more that have been nipped in the bud. So he's doing quite a lot differently.
Benjamin Hundeyin is a Force PRO. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.
Omo, did you guys see that? Let's break this down, because there's a lot of grammar being spoken. But we need to look at the reality. First off, let's talk about the battle of the figures. This was a highlight. Seun OKINBALOYE came with receipts. He quoted an EU report saying over 100,000 police officers are attached to VIPs. That is almost a third of the entire police force. But Benjamin Hundeyin looked him in the eye and said, no, we only have about 11,566 attached to VIPs, and we have withdrawn them. Now, ask yourself, does that sound right? Only 11,000 in a country where every local government chairman, every House of Assembly member, every music star, and even some Yahoo boys seems to have a police escort. Seun was practically asking, are you counting the ones protecting the wives and children of these politicians too? Secondly, let us look at the statutory excuse. Hundeyin kept using the word statutory. He said governors, judges, and high-ranking officials are entitled by law to protection. Okay, we have agreed, but the question Seun was asking is, where do we draw the line? Because right now, The definition of VIP in Nigeria seems to be anyone with money. The most painful part of that interview for me was when Seun brought up the dignity of the force. He said police officers have been turned into gate men and bag holders. You could see Hundeyin trying to dodge that bullet by saying those are old videos or fake news. He claimed the IG has given a strict order that any officer found holding a bag or opening a gate will be arrested. But guys, be honest, in the comment section, have you stopped seeing police officers opening doors for civilians in your area? Because I still see it every day. It happens, you know. Hundeyin defense is that they are retraining these 11,000 men to go into the schools, school protection squad, and operational duties. He admitted the police force is understaffed, less than 400,000 officers for over 200 million Nigerians. But the core of this conversation was simple. The presidency gave an order, but on the streets, it looks like business as usual. Is the police force gaslighting us, or are they actually working? Let us move into my critical take on this. Now, let's get critical. This is the part where we stop being nice and look at the hard truths. Let's not deceive ourselves. The reason why the police hierarchy is struggling to implement this order fully is that VIP protection is a cash cow. It is a revenue generation. We know that many of these deployments are paid for. If you strip 100,000 officers from private citizens, you are cutting off a massive revenue stream, whether official or unofficial, for the force. This is where they will hide behind the technicalities like statutory protection to keep men attached to the highest bidder. There is a massive gaslighting attempt happening with these numbers. You cannot tell me the EU reports 100,000 officers are on VIP duty and the police claim it's only 11,000. Where are the remaining 89,000, or where are the missing 89,000 officers? Are they ghost workers, or are they deployed off the books? If the force PRO cannot account for them on national TV, then we have a bigger corruption problem than we realize. You cannot fix a problem you refuse to admit exists. We are in a security crisis. Nigeria is fighting banditry in the northwest, insurgency in the northeast, and kidnapping everywhere. We need every gun and every boot on the ground. It is an insult to the tax-paying Nigerian citizens that while they sleep with one eye open, fearing kidnappers, a police officer trained with taxpayers' money is standing guard at a politician's girlfriend's house or carrying an umbrella for a businessman at a party. It is a waste of state resources. Seun was right to press on the gateman issue. When you reduce a trained officer to a domestic servant, you kill their morale. How do you expect that same officer to face a bandit with courage when he has spent at least 5 years washing his Oga's car? We are deprofessionalizing the police force for the comforts of the elites. So Benjamin Hundeyin is a brilliant spokesman. He speaks well, but he is defending the indefensible here. Until we see a visible reduction of policemen in convoy of random big men, the president's order is just audio promise. The police force needs to stop telling us they have withdrawn men and actually show us the men in the station and on patrol. So that's the situation, guys. The police say we have withdrawn 11,000 men. The streets say the big men still have their escort. Who do you believe? Drop your comments below. Do you still see police officers holding bags and opening gates in your areas? Let me know. Don't forget to like this video, share it so others can see this analysis, and please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for Oba's trending gist. I will see you in the next video.